Hello, 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 everybody. How you doing? How you doing? It is Kenny Overton here, your host of Black Opera Live, sponsored by Black Opera Productions, LLC, the company that is producing the upcoming documentary entitled Black Opera. And we are so excited about the project. The documentary is taking on beautiful twists and turns and enhancements and dynamics and adding things and people. And it's just going to be so, so, so marvelous. And we are so excited. And we still continue to need your support. And our amazing, amazing, amazing sponsor, which is Fractured Atlas, they have until December 31st decided to match dollar for dollar every donation that is $100 or less that you donate to Black Opera. So if you are so inclined to donate, and if you have, an extra $1 from what Congress has given us, you can give it to Black Opera. And that $1 becomes $2, and that $10 becomes $20, and that $20 becomes $40, and so on and so on. So we are so excited, and you can find the information right underneath on the ticker tape right there, where you can go and find out all the information. But tonight, you all, I am so excited. First of all, happy holidays to everybody. Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and upcoming New Year's and any other holiday that you celebrate in this time. We hope, Black Opera Productions hopes that you are well and safe and happy and content. And we know that it's crazy times and everybody wants to be close and with their families and traveling, but please, please, please stay safe and be safe. This virus is non-discriminatory and quite vicious, and we've got to get a hold on it and make sure that we can once again be together as we normally would. So do what you can, be responsible as you can, and let's bring 2021 in on a good note, on a wonderfully blessed note. But today, I am blessed because I am in the company of one of my favorite artists, favorite singers in the world, Angel Blue. She is here, and I'm so honored and blessed that she's here because she's so busy, one of the busiest artists going. And we're going to find out how she manages all of that she is doing and doing with such grace and such beauty and integrity. So I will tell you a little bit about her as we get started here. And thank you to everybody who's joining. It's so great to see all of you and everybody who's joining through Angel's Facebook fan page. And she told me that her family is here. So welcome, Angel's family. It's so great to have you all here. And feel free to comment, and we'll illuminate those comments and show Angel all the love that she deserves. And I want to give a special shout out to Opera News. And Opera News decided to publicize tonight's interview on their Instagram stories. So thank you, Opera News, for your support. And thank you, Opera News, for the amazing feature that you did on me. It was my first feature ever in my life. And I felt so honored, first that F. Paul Driscoll would ask, and then the beautiful writing of Maria Mazzaro. She was so great and so kind. And thank you to everybody who has sent comments and texts and calls and messages. I receive it. I love you guys so much. And we're going to keep it going. So thank you, Opera News, for tonight's shout out. But tonight is all about Angel Blue, baby. Angel Blue is an international opera singer who has, in recent years, established herself as one of her generation's most important singers. Miss Blue has performed in more than 35 countries. Baby, that passport, she must got 3 passports to hold all those stamps, because it includes Australia and Russia and Kazakhstan and Bahrain and Oman and Israel, Turkey, Singapore, China, South Korea, and India, to just name a few. Last season, she opened the Metropolitan Opera as Bess in the critically acclaimed Porgy and Bess to rave reviews. And from the New York Times, they said, the sumptuously voiced soprano Angel Blue is radiant, capturing both the pride and fragility of the character. And I can attest to that because I was there. I saw it 3 times, and she was absolutely fantastic each and every time. In 2019, she made her debut at the festival at Aix-en-Provence in Aix-en-Provence, France, as Tosca, and at the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden in London, the United Kingdom, as Violetta in La Traviata. And she made her story, baby, as the first Black soprano to sing the role of Violetta at Teatro alla Scala in Milan, Italy in 2019. What an accomplishment. What a milestone. So proud of her. But during this pandemic, Angel has created a web series talk show called Faithful Friday. And if you have not watched this and started, you need to start watching it. Get your lives right and start watching Faithful Friday with Angel Blue. And she was recently added to the board of directors for the Timon Kids, a nonprofit organization. Miss Blue created a scholarship called Opera Training Studio Audition Award, in which she funded the application fee for more than 20 singers, 14 of whom were singers of color. Now, that is what I call doing the work. Using your platform for the greater good. I cannot wait to talk to her about her advocacy and showing up for younger singers and for singers of color. In 2016, she founded the nonprofit organization Sylvia's Kids, a foundation which gives scholarship money to help fund the education of an inner city student graduating from high school and going to a trade school, community college, or a 4-year university. Angel has a series upcoming virtual concerts and discussions with the Cincinnati Symphony, the Philadelphia Orchestra, the Bloomberg Philanthropies, and the Met Stars live in concert on December the 31st. And make sure you tune in and support Angel and clap from your homes and your computer screens really, 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 really loud. And in addition, Ms. Blue is a trustee for the National Institute of Social Sciences, and she resides in the greater New York area with her husband, her 9-year-old stepson, and 2 doggies. She is a fully fleshed out woman, a real Renaissance woman. She is a human being as well as an artist, and I cannot wait to talk to her and find out how she balances all of the amazing things that are going on in her life. But I have a receipt for y'all, and you know my show with the receipts, baby. We're going to start with the receipt before we bring Angel in. And this will just get you in the mood. I found this video of her that was so amazing, and it just lifted my spirits, and I know and hope that it will uplift yours. So the next face and voice that you will hear after this clip is the gorgeous, fabulous Angel Blue.
Tiene del vuelo mis vidrios en alba asoma, tender quisiera el vuelo con las palomas, pero porque los venden en el mercado y que los pobres mueren en estofado, digo mitad en serio, mitad en broma. Ay, sus inconvenientes en ser paloma. E lo que no yo, paloma soy, y soy del ruido, por donde voy, de nombre de paloma siempre sigue. Busco paloma, busco paloma, busco paloma, ¿quién sabe? Paloma es,
Hey!
Hi! Hello, everybody.
Oh my God, you're here.
Yes. It's good to be here with you, Kenneth. Thank you for having me here today.
Oh, it's great to be with you. You sounded so fabulous on that. I listened to it like 10 times.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. Well, the people in the comments are already going crazy. Let me put a few up. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, we are so joyous to have her here. Hey, Elliot, how are you?
Hi,
Good
Elliot.
to see you.
Hi, Jared.
Oh my gosh.
I love Elliot and Jared. I know them very well.
Yes. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Angels, thank you so much for bringing the holiday festive look to the Black Opera Live, because I need to tell you, I needed it. It brought me into a happy place. And so thank you for dressing the part, darling.
Thank you so much. I was going to wear my Santa Claus outfit, but I thought maybe that would be too much. So I just did my on the nice list. On the nice list.
She's been good all year, Santa. She has been good all year. We love it, love it, love it, love it. So, my dear, let's get into it. Tell the folks, where is Angel from, and where did you grow up? And then how did classical music and opera come into your life?
Well, I'm originally from Apple Valley, California, where I think most people don't know that's sort of like, it's the desert in California. In Southern California, it's considered the high desert. I tell people that I'm from Los Angeles because that's the most well-known city. That's kind of the closest to where I live, which is still 2 hours away from where I'm from.
Oh, wow. It's that far. Okay.
Yes. But I usually say LA because people know where it is, but I'm from Apple Valley, and I hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm not quite sure about my microphone. I didn't get a chance to test it.
I hear you great.
Okay, great. Yeah, and so I was introduced to opera through my wonderful dad, Sylvester Blue. He loved opera. He loved just singing and music, and he left me with this wonderful legacy to fulfill of, moving forward and keeping my dream alive for myself in the opera game.
Yes. Yes. That is fantastic. So how many kids are in the family, and do any of them sing as well?
Yes. So there's 5 of us, and everybody can sing. Everybody can sing. My sister Heather is the one I would say that is the most singing inclined, if that makes sense. And then my brother James, he plays, I don't even know how many instruments James plays. I know he plays the piano, the bass, the drums. The drums are his first instrument. Percussion is his first instrument. And then he plays a saxophone. He's a true musician. Like, he can arrange music and such. Wow. And my 2 older sisters, Netta and Felicia, they both, I think Felicia played the guitar for a while when she was younger. My older sister, Netta, she took some piano lessons, but we're all musically inclined, but they all have done different things with their lives. My brother serves right now currently in the United States Army. I say that with so much pride. I'm very proud of him and what he has accomplished being in the Army and anybody serving in our military, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for honoring our country and keeping us safe. And then my oldest sister, Netta, is a nurse, a registered nurse who works in the NICU. Then my second to the oldest sister, Felicia, is a journalist in Atlanta. My sister, Heather, is a clinical psychologist. I'm an international opera singer, and James is in the Army.
What a family. My goodness.
Thank you. I say that I say that with pride because I'm blessed that they let me be in the group, you know.
I love it. I love it. Now, do they get to come and see you and experience you on stage as you're conquering the world of opera?
Oh, thank you. They usually do most of the time. At one point, before my brother went into the Army, actually, he was always kind of traveling with me. He and my mom, they would come, and maybe not the whole period, but they would definitely come for the shows.
Yeah.
And my sister and her husband and their children, they all come. So yes, it's been a blessing to have my family because it's one thing to be supportive of yourself and to have yourself be the person who's pushing you forward. But when you have that family support, that's invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you remember the moment when you said, opera is what I want to do?
I remember it being, I was about 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I remember being 4 when I saw my first opera, when I had my first experience, when I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. But when I really said that I was going to be an opera singer, it came a little bit later. I was probably in high school.
Okay.
But it's always been on my mind. I've always thought this is something that I'm going to do. This is something that's going to be my lot in life is essentially how I feel about it. And I don't know how to really answer the question, Kenneth, because if I'm honest, I've always wanted to sing opera. It's always what I wanted to do.
Wow. That's interesting. You're, I think, one of the first people, definitely the youngest at age 4 to know or to realize it or to even have seen an opera. Because listen, I hated opera. I did. It did not bite me until I was 15 years old.
Really?
Yeah, and it was because it was out of force of my choir teacher who took me to see Jesse Norman in Recital in Philadelphia, and that was the moment where it changed. But before that, it was like the woman with the horn on her head. I was like, that's not me. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Or it was Bugs Bunny, with his his thing flapping and holding and singing large. Like I was like, that's just funny stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, 4 years old. Oh my gosh. And already knowing.
My dad sang. Yes, it probably helped because my dad was a singer also.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up hearing him sing. So maybe I think that's really the reason why I fell in love with it quickly.
So who was he listening to in the house?
Oh my gosh. You ready for this?
Okay.
I should have brought my record downstairs. Today, my husband and I we're trying to clean up our house is clean, but we're trying to find homes for everything, like our little tiny things. Like I have a lot of records. And so today I was actually playing with a record of Leontine Price. So one of his favorite singers was Leontine Price. So I have records that my dad left to me. When he passed away, of Leontine Price. He loved I'll say the men that he listened to. He liked Enrico Caruso. He always watched the great Caruso with Mario Lanza, and he loved UC Björling, and of course he adored Richard Tucker. I think if my mom and my family is watching, I believe he met Richard Tucker one time, but I don't remember the story exactly. My family will correct me if I'm wrong, because they will definitely correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe he met Richard Tucker at one point. But I know that he liked Richard Tucker, and he listened to the three tenors like religiously. That was his thing, He loved their voices so much. He was also into the old singers like Luisa Tetrazzini, sang of course with Caruso, and so that's why I know those people, because of my dad.
Oh my God, what great taste! My goodness, that's quite the group.
Yes.
That is quite the group. So what was Angel like in high school? Like, what were you doing? Like, what was your fun time? What was your extracurricular time?
I didn't have any, if I'm honest. I didn't have.
Okay.
I was a gymnast. I started gymnastics when I was about 10 years old. And
Wow.
yeah, my mom put me in gymnastics. I loved it. But then by the time I was 16, I had to quit because I went, well, actually, sorry, I was 15 because I went to a special high school for the arts.
Okay.
And the high school is called the LA County High School for the Arts. And when I was there, I studied opera. So in the beginning of the day, from 8 o'clock to about something like 12:15, we had our academics. And then from 1:30 until 4, we had our art. And so that kind of took up my whole life. You know, it made me at a very early age realize how much I had to invest in singing. But it also, I think what it really did for me was it put me around other young people other teenagers who had a genuine and strong love for the arts. You know, I wasn't getting that in Apple Valley, so I had to go to Los Angeles to do that. And I'm happy my parents were gracious enough and, you know, interested in me enough to put me in that school, because that was my life. So I didn't have any extracurricular activity. That's why I'm tall and I can't play any sports, because I was into music.
Were they trying to recruit you for the basketball team because you were so tall?
I am the worst. You will never find a worse basketball player than me. Nobody is as bad as I am. I don't know how to dribble. My dad, whenever I would try to throw the ball, my dad would always go, "Here comes brick." So, so you know, I'm not an athlete. I wish I was. No.
Wow, that's interesting and not so surprising, but quite interesting. I love it. I love it. So, did you know that you wanted to go to school for music? And if so, where did you go? And what was the track?
Yeah, so from high school until oh, excuse me, I just hit my setup here. Okay. From high school, I went to I actually had a really interesting way of going through college, because I wanted to go to Juilliard and I didn't get into Juilliard, which I think was probably the best thing for me. Because to be completely honest, at 18 years old, I was very immature. So from high school, I went to Cal Baptist University for my first year, and then I transferred to a community college, and I went to Victor Valley College, which is up by Apple Valley for the next year. After that, I went to the University of Redlands, where I have my Bachelor of Music degree from, and then to UCLA. The trajectory of my schooling was, you know, if you knew me at the time, it was sort of like, okay, Angel wants to sing. She wants to be an opera singer, but she kind of has no idea how to make that happen. And as a result, you know, I sort of just kind of meandered my way through the first 2 years of school until I got to the University of Redlands, where I was really able to focus on understanding a bit more about opera. And then from there, going to UCLA, which really was kind of kicked it into high gear for me. So my trajectory of school was interesting, to say the least.
I love it. So who did you work with at UCLA? Did I see that you worked with one of my favorite singers in the world?
Vladimir Chernov.
Oh my God. That voice.
Yes.
That voice on that man. My goodness.
I'm honored to be his student. I'm honored to work with him and to call him my maestro, really.
Are you still working with him today?
I've been working with Vladimir since 2005.
Wow.
Yes. I have other people that I go to, but he's sort of my like foundation, if I can call him. I mean, of course, God is my foundation, but when I think in terms of a good example is opening night, Porgy and Bess, I was a hot mess.
Really?
The hottest mess. Like if you touched it, it would burn you. It was a hot mess. And I said, let me call my teacher. And I called Vladimir, and he just really helped me to calm down and reminded me just, you know, why I do this. And it was a blessing. He's a huge blessing to my life. What a great man.
Wow. And, you know, I heard Cecilia Bartoli say, or no, was it Maria Callas, that if you start out right, the journey is so much easier. And it sounds like you started out right by having him.
Yes.
And there's a consistency in your growth. You know, your voice is so gorgeous. And I remember meeting you at San Francisco Opera at Porgy, which you were Clara. And was that 2009? I can't remember.
I had no idea what was going on. Yeah.
But it was so gorgeous. You know how a person sings a note and the whole room goes, like, that's what happened when you sang Summertime. And I was like, who is that? But we'll get to that a little bit later. So from college, from UCLA, did you have in mind where you wanted to go and how you wanted to kickstart your career? And then did it match with what actually happened?
I had no idea what I wanted to do. You remember Music Soul Child?
Yes.
He has the name of his song was called, his album was called I Just Want to Sing.
I Just Want to Sing. Yep.
That's literally how I was. I just want to sing, I just wanted to sing. I didn't know how to really do it, how it was supposed to happen. I just wanted to sing. I was instructed to, in 2009 when we were doing Porgy and Bess. And by the way, you were fantastic in that. That was like my favorite scene. It was really one of my favorite scenes with Blair Frazier. And I remember I was like, I don't have anything to do. I can just turn around and watch Kenneth. And it was so fun. But I didn't know really what I should do. So I had my mentors that I was talking to. Can you just remind me of the question? Because I think I went off on a tangent a little bit.
No. Your idea of what you wanted your career to start to look like once you finished school.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we were in San Francisco, and that was around the time that I had just finished the Young Artist Program in LA.
Okay.
And so for me, I think what was the most interesting part for me was I had two options. I had just been invited to go to the Young Artist Program, the Lindemann Young Artist Program at the Met. And it was either that or go to Europe and start singing in Europe, but also through a Young Artist Program. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really know what to do. So, of course, I had to ask people, Yeah. And the trajectory, my idea was I wanted to sing. I wanted to be an international opera singer. That's what I wanted. And I took a piece of paper and I just wrote down what I wanted. And I was like, I'm just going to write what I want. I wrote, because at the time I was singing like Lucia di Lammermoor. I was singing I Puritani. I'm singing, things like a lot of bel canto.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down what I want to do, where I want to do it. And it ended up being that list would actually come to pass, but it would come to pass a little bit later.
Okay.
So did it look like what I thought it was going to over the next few years? No, not really. It was quite different from what I expected.
I see. And so you I spoke with Pretty Yende on Saturday, and she was talking about starting off in the bel canto as well. And that Mirella Freni was the person who said, no, you'll get to the bigger lyric roles later, but let's focus on the bel canto. So what was that like for you? Did Maestro Chernoff, was he the one that suggested that sort of repertoire, or did your voice just naturally do that?
It was kind of, it all sort of came when I went to LA Opera, because it was mainly LA Opera that told me, the coaches there, and Maestro Domingo.
Okay.
Maestro Domingo has been a very powerful force for me. He was very helpful in helping me to figure out what I should be singing. That's something that I think when you're just starting out, it's like, okay, I'm too young to do this.
Yes.
I'm too young to do that. So what can I do?
What can I do?
Plethora of music to sing.
Yeah.
But when everybody's saying, oh, well, you're not the right for this, you're not right for that, then you have to have guidance. And so I got that from LA Opera, and that's why I sang so much bel canto. We actually did scenes. It wasn't the full opera, but it was scenes from Lucia. They put me as Lucia. Uh-huh. And because of that, I said, okay, well, let me just stay in the bel canto repertoire. So I was there happily for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love the bel canto. It's probably my favorite operatic period musically. I mean, it's just nothing like a beautiful melody from Donizetti or Bellini. Like they just know how to do it. And the voice is so happy,
Yes.
So, okay. How many years were you at the LA Opera program? And then once you sort of graduated from the LA Opera program, then what was next?
So I started there as an intern in 2005. And so I was truly in the program for about 4 years.
And when you say intern, what does that mean for?
Yes. So I I was in the program. Basically, I had a what they called a probationary period,
Okay.
which was from 2005 to 2006. It was okay. Let's see how she will do in this program.
Okay.
I wasn't actually in the program. I was invited to do some of the master classes. I was invited to do some of the movement classes and such, but I wasn't actually in the program. I was considered an intern, as though I were, I suppose, shadowing
Gotcha.
class.
Uh-huh.
So I did that for a year. And then after that, then I was in the program. I officially graduated from LA Opera in 2009, even though I was in Spain at the time, because I was still a part of the program there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And good on LA Opera for really helping and cultivating and nurturing you at that very precious time.
Yes, very true. Yes.
That's great. I mean, and do you feel like they did it not only because you're insanely talented, but because you are a product of California? It's like, let's help raise up our hometown girl.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel that way.
No.
I don't feel that way, actually. I do feel that it came more from the fact that Maestro Domingo was invested and interested in having a sister program. So because I was told to go to Europe instead, which I think was the best decision for me.
Yeah.
He was interested in having a sister program, which was the one in the Palais de las Arts in Valencia. So because of that, I was sort of like the one to try that out. I think they were invested in me probably because I had been with them the longest out of everyone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so the decision to go to Europe, that's huge for a young person.
Yes.
What was that decision-making process like? Was there apprehension? Was there a little fear? Or was like, I know this is what I'm supposed to do and I'm going to jump and do it?
Mm-hmm. I was definitely nervous, but I was looking for the next thing. I was looking for something, and I knew that what Maestro Domingo told me was, Maestro said, Angel, you don't need another young artist program. You need experience. You need to learn roles. You need to go. The way he explained it to me was that there was an entirely different world of opera in Europe that I hadn't experienced. I had never been to Europe. So my first introduction to Europe was in 2009, and I appreciate him. I have him to thank for that, because if he hadn't, and he didn't have to. I mean, he's Placido Domingo. He doesn't have to say anything.
Right.
So but for him to say to me, go to Europe and get your training there, learn something there. That is invaluable. That's important to me. I think that's, I feel that I feel like I have a career because I left and went to Europe.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
That's fantastic. And it's fantastic to have someone like that believes in you and that really shows it by putting their money and time and resources where it matters. And that's behind you so that you can soar. That is amazing. Yes. That is absolutely amazing. So what do you remember from the first time you heard you're going to make your Metropolitan Opera debut? What do you recall, the day, the time, where you were, what you did as soon as you heard it? What was that like?
I don't know. I don't know. I was happy. I was thankful. I wanted to tell everybody. I wanted to shout it out from the rooftops, but of course, because it was like 2 seasons or 3 seasons before it was going to happen, I couldn't say anything. But I wanted to tell everybody about it. I just had, the short answer is I had an overwhelming sense of gratitude, because I've been working towards that. I went to Europe because I was told this. I was told, a prophet is honored everywhere except in his hometown. That's biblical. That's not me.
Yeah.
And I wanted so badly to be recognized by different opera companies that I lived next to, where I was from. And I wasn't getting that. And so for me to travel and go to Europe and then to be cast as the third Norn in Opera Frankfurt's production of Götterdämmerung, singing German, Wagner for German, scary.
Wow. Yeah.
But to have that experience, then to go to Italy, and then to do this, I did a recital tour in Italy, and that with my young artist program, and that was amazing. But to go somewhere else and to get sort of and I hope that this makes sense when I say this, to get the stamp of approval from other places so that I could come back home and be approved or recognized. Maybe approve is not the right word, but just recognized, I suppose.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. So when I found out I was making my Met debut, I had an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I was just very thankful.
Yeah. It's amazing. Well, folks, on this show, we like to show proof of excellence and proof of beauty and proof of just being absolutely positively amazing. And I like this particular clip because not only do you sound great and look great, but it's also during the process. And I want to talk to you when the clip is over about the process.
Okay.
Sono vivo il pranzo da me stesso, non vado sempre a messa, ma prego assai il Signor. Vivo sola, soletta, là in una bianca cameretta, guardo sui tetti e in cielo. Che la vien fuori d'ora importunare.
Bravissima, bravissima. Oh my gosh. People are just throwing out the most beautiful. Yes, you're right, Bernadette. So, so beautiful.
Thank you. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. What's up, brother?
Thank you, Latanya. Hi, Latanya.
Latanya, how you doing, gal?
Hello. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Hi. Yes, Tim. Proof is in the pudding, baby. She's just absolutely, positively, absolutely marvelous. I agree, Imani. It's stunning. I got a chance to see it in person. It's stunning, stunning, stunning. So that obviously was during a rehearsal or before the actual performance itself. One, what is it like having your rehearsal process filmed? Because as an artist, I look at my rehearsal process as sacred space, or a space where I can fall on my face and sing wrong, ugly notes and fix it. How first of all, how did you manage to do that so gorgeously?
Wow.
And what was that like?
Thank you, Kenneth. Well, I'm not new to Mimi. I love her so much. She's
Mm,
so she's such she's a good friend of mine. I like to talk about the characters that I sing as though I know them, and
yeah.
she really is my best friend. Um,
Mm.
I appreciate her. I love her, and I know that sounds
Why
weird.
do you love her? Why? Tell us why, because I love her. And it's obvious that Puccini loved her. But
Yeah.
why do you love her?
I love her because she is honest, and she is, she's, we all go through these hard times. And I mean, everybody's been through a hard time this year. We've all been through hard times. And I think that even though the adversity that she faces and the things that she goes through, she still finds strength, and she
Mm,
still finds these moments um, to be kind to the people who she cares the most for, which is, of course, Rodolfo, the friends and such. But I love her just as a person. I think she's a good-hearted person,
yeah.
and because of that, of course, she's an easy character to sing, to portray.
Hmm.
But this particular clip was at Canadian Opera Company. This is last year, and I was working. I was working with this the pianist who's playing, his name is Ben Malinsek. And Ben is also the coach who taught me Tosca, who helped to
Mm,
coach me in person in Tosca. I had several coaches help me with Tosca. And one of the things that I think is very special about this clip that everybody won't know because it happened right before we did it was he said to me, just sing from your heart and
mm.
just enjoy it, because I had all of these notes, like we get notes in I was gonna say in class.
Yeah, yeah.
We get notes, and good, it's good for us to get notes because it helps us to enhance our talents and enhance our artistry more than anything. But I had received so many notes, and I remember thinking, gosh, I thought that I really knew this part. I thought I was doing it well. And he's like, just sing it from your heart. You can't go wrong if you do that. And so
Mm.
that's what I was trying to do in that clip.
You
Thank you for playing
succeeded.
that.
You succeeded because I saw it. I saw the light. I saw the joy. I saw the the innocence of it all. And that's a beautiful thing to see, that because there's some people, you get jaded and you just turn on a switch and you just spit out notes, but that was genuine and honest and true.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. My dog likes it too. My dog is barking. It's okay if they bark, no problem. I have 2 dogs, so if they bark, I apologize.
What kind are they?
They're Chihuahuas, and they're
Oh, so sweet. So sweet. So how do you approach learning a new role? Like how do you take it? Is it different for each role, or do you have a process for all of them?
I sort of think of all of them as the same. So um, usually what I do is I tend to I like to start with the text. I'd like to start with, what's going on in the history of the piece. What is the composer going through? What's happening, where the composer is living? What's happening in the world at the time? I wasn't always like that. I didn't always start studying like that. Thank you, Latanya. I appreciate that. So
That's
is
true,
yours.
Latanya. I
Latanya
agree.
is one of my favorite sopranos ever. I adore her.
Yeah.
But I usually start with the text and everything, and then from there I go to the music. I spend a lot of time listening to it. I like to break in my score, so I'll throw my score across the room and have fun with the score, because at some
Yeah.
point I'm probably going to feel like that anyway, throwing the score. So that's basically my process, and it's the same process with everything.
Yeah.
It's the way that my brain works best for learning music.
So talk to the audience about, because when I talk to young singers, I always sort of mention the importance of having a team of people who really support you, that are there for your best interests. How do you, with your team, decide what's right for Angel Blue, the artist, now, and what's not right, and maybe it's down the road?
Mm-hmm. Um, I think the team is probably outside of your own study and your own self and your own understanding of your voice, of your talent, and what you're capable of. Your team is probably the most important, I think.
Mhm.
The next thing that's the most important. I sang my first Tosca last year, and I was told by a lot of people, don't do this, it's too soon, you're too young, do that when you're 40, do that when you're 50. And to some degree, I can understand why people say that, because Tosca's a beast, but so is
Mhm.
Angel. So am I. And I was like,
Yes.
I'm not,
Come on now.
I mean, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just being,
No.
I'm being honest. I like,
I believe in honesty, and I believe in knowing who you are. You've
yes.
got to know who you are, and the stock and the timber that runs up your back. You've got to know that and
Yes.
understand that. But go on. I'm sorry, I interrupted
No,
you.
no, you're fine. No, but it's true. It's that, it has to be where I mean, when I 10 years ago, let's go even 15 years ago, when I was in the Young Artist program and I got Musetta, I had people saying, oh, this is too heavy. You shouldn't do this. Okay. But then when I got on stage to do it, you could hear me in the back of the hall.
Mhm.
When I got on stage to do it, it was solid. It was good. It was ready. But at that time, 15 years ago, I didn't know that I could listen to, wow, this is going to sound weird, but it's true. I didn't know that I could listen to myself and have myself say, self, you can do this.
Yeah,
So when it comes to a team, I hope that makes sense. But
it does.
when it comes to a team, your team are people who will be honest with you, brutally honest with you, but their honesty with you is meant to make you better. Their honesty with you is not meant to tear you down. It's constructive criticism. It's not criticism to hurt you. It's
Right.
not criticism to make you think, oh gosh, I shouldn't be here. I can't do this. Oh, what am I doing? If you start to feel yourself recoil and you start to say, oh gosh, I'm not good. Oh, I can't do that. I don't speak this. I don't do that. Those people aren't for you.
Right.
Those people are not for you. So move on. As my mom says, she always says this to me. I'll call her and I'll be like, oh, this person said this to me and they did this. And she says, Angel, turn the page.
Yes, mother. Listen, please tell her I'm going to use that. Please tell her I'm going to use that.
I will. She's right. She's here. She can see you.
Hi, mama. Mama, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Yes.
I'm gonna use that.
Turn
the page.
And it's true. And I think when you have a team of people around you, I'll go back to Tosca because I kind of interrupted myself. I had people telling me, don't do this. It's too soon. You're not ready. Da, da, da. But I know if I'm ready. I know if I know music. I know if I can sing. I mean, as a singer, no matter if you're at the beginning stages of your vocal training, or if you've been singing for 20 or 30, 40 years, you know when your body is tired. Nobody has to come and tell you. Even from having a baby, we know when babies are tired. They get frustrated and restless. They start crying and all of this.
Yes.
The baby is tired. So when your voice is tired. You don't need somebody to tell you that, So for me, I know from last year, for Tosca, this is an interesting thing. I told 10 people that I was singing it. 7 of the 10 people told me not to do it.
Okay.
And I thought to myself, okay, well, that's a lot of people, but I had to trust myself. I took it to my teacher. I took it to my coach in California, my friend Kathy, who also helped me learn the role. Pointed out sections. She was like, this section is really difficult. I took it to Ben Malinsek, and he's like, this section is difficult here. You want to back off on this section and then let it out on this section. And, with your team and with your discernment, you'll know what you should be doing.
I love that word so much, and I'm so glad you said it, because I say it to myself all the time, and I say it to people all the time. I said, we are gifted with discernment.
Yes.
And for me, if something's not right for me, my chords are the first entity that says, boy, put that thing down. Or, you can sing that, get over it and do the work, and you can do it. That discernment clicks right in for me. Yeah, I love that word, and I love that spirit of discernment.
Yes.
It's amazing. Amazing. Good for you. Good for you. So let me ask you one of my I have these questions that are usually at the end. of the conversation. But since we're here right now, are there roles? Because I still look at you as young singer, even though like you're so accomplished. Like Pretty Yende said to me on Saturday, I asked her this question. She said, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm still a young singer. I'm still a young singer. And so I want to know, are there roles that you have done that you're like, oh, I want to sing this forever and ever? And then are there roles that you have not done that you're like, I cannot wait to get my hands on her when the time is right?
I love Mimi. I hope I get to sing it for a long time. I do. I also like Violetta, and I hope I get to sing that for a long time. I agree with Pretty, and she's right when she says, I'm still young. I suppose, yeah, I'm still young, but I have to say I was much younger, not just in voice, but in thought, in spirit, in life experience back, of course, obviously everybody was, but I think as an opera singer, all of us know this, your voice grows as you grow.
Yes.
And so I feel like a totally different person than when we first met.
Yeah.
Very different person. My responsibilities are different. My life is different. And all of that contributes to how I sing.
Yes.
The role, I love Mimi, I love Violetta. I want to keep singing those. If I think of something in the future that I would like to do, I love Marquita Lister.
Yes, that's my girl.
I'm like her biggest fan. I text her last year and she texted me back and was like, bravo. And I almost I did lose mine. I did. I lost it a little bit, just a tiny bit. And
I call her Big Sis. She was always so kind to me back when I was in Young Artist Program, and she came in and she sang Tosca and she sang Best, and she sang Georgetta in Tabaro, and I was either there doing one of the Compromario roles and just would always go to rehearsals that I wasn't called for just to watch her.
Yes, because she's stunning, and because and I said Marquita because I love the roles that she has sung. If there's anything that I would love to attempt one day, I look at her and I think, okay, she's sung, but she's my best. In my opinion, she's my best. She has sung Tosca. I like Tosca. It's great. It's a good role. Salome. I would love to try it. At least try it. If it fails miserably, it probably wouldn't. I don't think. I'd work hard.
It wouldn't. It would not fail.
This is all of her repertoire. These are the things that she sang, and I would love to try.
Listen, and when you do try it, you let me know where it is, and I'm coming. I'm canceling everything, and I'm coming wherever it is. I would. Oh my God, amazing. I saw her do Salome, and in Boston, actually, and people are still rumbling about it. Like it was amazing. Like she's a force. An absolute force.
Yes.
Absolute force. That's awesome. So let's talk about one of the roles that you did mention, which is Violetta. You have a lot of history with this woman, with this character, with this amazing person. And so being the first Black woman to sing it at La Scala, that's huge. That's heavy. That's a lot. Did you know that was the case when the offer came?
No.
You did not.
No.
When did you find out, and what went on inside of Angel when it was like, oh?
My husband told me. My husband's like, he's such a beautiful man. He's very supportive. Like, sometimes I think he's more supportive than I am of myself, which is a good thing. But he's very supportive, and he went to the archives and said, "I think you're the first. I think You might be the first Black woman to sing this at La Scala. And I was like, Adam, that's not true. That's in my, and he works with computers. He's a senior computer programmer at his job.
Yeah.
And so he's, going through all of these the archives and such. And so then we see an article that talks about me replacing Sonia Yoncheva, who, by the way, is a fantastic singer.
She is.
What a voice, and what a stage animal, really.
Yeah.
So I was very honored to step in for Sonia. And there was an article that Adam sent to me. Adam is my husband, and he said, "Look, I told you it was true. You're the first the first Black woman to sing this opera at La Scala." And boy, my heart kind of leaped out of my body for a second. It was just, I don't know if it was just pounding super hard or if it was actually out of my body and then it came back in. But I was honored. And I know our dear friend Lester Lynch is watching. I love you, Lester. And Lester, in 2016, he and I and Tashina Vaughn, Tashina.
Yes.
We were at with Morris and just a great cast. Kristen Lewis. We were doing. Sorry, I have to say everybody now. It was Mary Elizabeth Williams and Donovan Singletary and Camille Hughes.
Yeah.
We were all doing Porgy and Bess. We were walking down this street. I think the street was called Giuseppe Verdi, and it was me and Lester and Tashina. We had some gelato or something. We had just gone out to eat. And Lester said, Angel, if you could sing any role at La Scala, what would it be? And I I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, what would it be? I'm like, okay, I could sing at La Scala. What would I sing? And I said, Lester, I would want to sing La Traviata. I'd want to sing Violetta. And this was in 2016. And he said, okay, that'll happen. That could happen. That's easy. That could happen.
Come on, prophet.
Yes. And I was like, that's true. That could happen. So I went and I wrote it down. And I prayed over it. And I thought that's something that I want to happen. If that is for me, if God has that for me, then it'll happen. But my heart, when I found out, was just elated.
It's an amazing accomplishment and achievement, and it's really rather exciting and shocking because I'm like a big history buff, and I always love finding out the first and where people did this and who did that, and so now you are in the history books.
Thank you. That's a blessing. Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, what a tremendous achievement, especially Traviata in Milan.
Yes, I think I don't know. I have a friend who worked in the archives at the Royal Opera House, who doesn't work there anymore. I mean, she was in the library, but she said that also that it's that I might be the first Black woman also to sing Violetta at Covent Garden. And they happen back to back. I have yet to actually research that to see if it is true, but
wow,
what an honor. I mean, truly.
Wow. Well, over the summer, it's interesting. I did this series during July called Hidden Figures No More. And it was about Black singers that specifically were born before the year of 1950 and about singers whose names we might not know. Just because of how the industry is and how society is, they pick a handful, and these are the ones that you need to know. But I went digging and digging and digging because I ain't got nothing but time in these Corona times. And I found this woman, Lenora Lafayette.
Yes.
Who was the first Black woman to sing at Covent Garden at all.
Wow.
And it was for a jump in as Aida. And this woman went to Juilliard with Leontine Price.
I remember you saying this on the Quita Mitchell show. Yes.
Yeah, with her, like at the same time. But I didn't know who she was until June of 2020. So we're going to put your portrait on the wall of Covent Garden and of La Scala as well. You are a her story making woman, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, do you get visits from the diva ghosts of your repertoire? Do they swim in your head? Do you let it bother you? Do you compare yourself? Do you allow other people to compare you to them? Do you get the Leontine Price comparisons? Do you get, she's doing Traviata at La Scala. The Collis ghost, she's around. Like, what is that like for you?
No, I didn't have any ghosts. I
Good.
didn't have anybody around. If anything, if there was anybody around me, I felt my father with me. I felt my dad with me, and because he and my mother both sacrificed a lot for me to study opera. So if there was ever anybody who I felt, I mean, truly, this is an honest, a true story. I was getting water at La Scala after our rehearsal, and I could feel my dad standing behind me. And it was like he
Mm.
used to wear this beautiful purple tuxedo whenever he went to out for events.
Come on, Pops. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's from Alabama. He knows how to put it together, And so what I felt was that he was standing behind me with this suit on, and it was just for me. It was like it was as though he had helped me get there.
Yeah.
His encouragement, his uplifting words, his prayers,
Yes.
his belief in me helped me get there. I don't compare myself to other people. I do my best not to.
Yeah.
Comparison, everybody knows that comparison is the thief of joy. I
Say
look
that
at
again for the folks. Please say that again.
comparison is the thief of joy. I learned that from, I got his picture right here. I learned that from my dad. This is my beautiful father, Sylvester Blue. That's my dad. That's the purple tuxedo I'm talking about. See,
that's sharp.
Okay.
Listen,
Yes.
I might have to add that to my repertoire.
Yes. And I might move this snowman and put my dad here actually, so that he can see. Y'all can see that's Sylvester Blue. I don't know if there's a bad glare, but anyway, I felt that he was with me. I don't compare myself to anybody. I learned that from my parents because my parents are pastors, and we never had. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I promise I'll stay on topic.
No, it's fine.
Example. My parents were pastors, and we didn't have, their ministry and their church wasn't like we had 5, 6, 7,000 people at the church. And sometimes we'd go to churches and my dad would minister and such, and they would take up a love offering, but they would keep the offering and not give it to my dad. What I found and what I learned from my dad, and trust me, this goes with La Traviata, because
Yes.
what I learned from Sylvester Blue and Sylvia Blue was that you do what you know is right for you. You have to do what you know is right for you. You have to, if you're, if me singing the E flat at the end is something that I can do, that works for me, that is easy for me to do, or what have you, and maybe another soprano is not able to sing the E flat, that's okay. But you have to do what works for you. So I hope I'm answering the question.
Yes.
Don't compare yourself to anybody, because that's going to steal your joy. That's going to steal all the hard work that you put into everything. That's going to steal every ounce of the gratitude that you should feel for the talent that God has given you. So when I was there doing Traviata, of course, I've heard this great recording, 1955, with I think it's Di Stefano and Maria Callas, where Italians. I love Italians. They go crazy in the opera house.
Yes, they let us have it.
They let us have it. And I've heard this recording, and of course, I wanted, I could hear the applause after I sang "A Mamma Alfredo," but. But I didn't get the applause that Callas got, but I wasn't comparing myself to her. I just wanted people to feel what I was giving them. So I always just try to bring my story to the stage with me.
And that's what we need. We need your story, because it's the story that we didn't know.
Yes.
And that's what's important. And I'm so happy to hear that. Like it's just, it's wonderful to hear you say it.
Thanks, Kenneth.
Because it comes out in your performances. Like it comes, like the reason we get goosebumps is because it's honest and because it's real.
Thank you.
And when I hear you sing, whether it's on recording or whether it's at the Met or wherever, it's like that girl knows who she is. She sings from her heart and her soul and her whole being. And you don't always get that from everybody, but I get it from you every single time. Every time.
Thank you, Kenneth.
And so there's this other receipt that I have that I found, and I was surprised by it, pleasantly surprised, because it shows a different side of you. And I want to talk about that when we get back from this. Wow. OMG. That was stunning. Where was that? What was that like? Was your husband in the wings with a baseball bat? Like, if you touch my wife.
No, actually, that was in Baden-Baden at the Festspielhaus Baden-Baden in Baden-Baden, Germany. And
Yeah.
this is kind of funny. This is with the amazing tenor Charles Castronovo. I've known Charles forever. I met him. I guess
Yeah.
I was a young artist, so maybe 2006, 2007. And I know his wife. I know his family. He's a lovely guy. But it was really funny to be working with him because he had sung the role before, but this was my first time singing the role, and so I needed like all kinds of help musically and whatnot. But I was happy that it was him that I was working with, you know. But no, my husband didn't have a baseball bat. But when I got home and he saw the show, then he was like, "I don't like that part."
Oh, I love it. I love it. So talk to me about let's talk about your husband a little bit. Where did you guys meet?
I met him at the University of Redlands. He didn't attend the University of Redlands, but he was really good friends with the young lady who lived across the hall from me. Her name is Deli. She's actually one of my closest friends, our close friend of our families. And it was really kind of funny because one day she was like, I think they were walking into the dorm room. She lived across the hall from me.
Yeah.
One day I'm coming into the dorm. I think they were leaving. I don't know. Were you guys leaving or were you staying? Okay. He says they were coming in and I was leaving.
Okay.
And I see Deli all the time. I mean, she lives in Connecticut. We hang out all the time. She's one of my closest friends still to this day. And we're leaving this place. I'm leaving this place. And I see her with this tall, handsome guy. And at the time he was a rugby player. So he has these big old shoulders and this smile just lit up my life.
Oh,
you know, these nice, this 100,000 trillion watt smile. And I was like, who is that? Like, he's handsome. And so that's how I met him. And we have some funny stories we always seem to just sort of be crossing each other. Just, there was one time when I was coming back to the dorm and he was leaving the dorm, and I had just gone we had this place called the Commons at my school where we would go to have like a late night snack.
Yeah.
I was coming back with this late night snack and he's leaving, but I was trying to catch up to him in my purse because I'm a girly girl, you know, I have all my makeup and everything in the purse. And I was trying to catch up to him and I was like, I couldn't remember I knew his name was Adam, but I think I called him like Alan or something. And I was like, Alan, oh, wait. And I spilled I had chicken strips and French fries, and I spilled all of the barbecue sauce and the ketchup and the ranch. Yes, I had 3 sauces. I spilled all of that in my purse. And then when he saw me and he was like, oh, hey, Ashley. Who's Ashley?
Who's Ashley?
I was like, no, I was like Angel. And he goes, oh, sorry, I meant Angel. So anyway, long story. That's how I met my husband, my beautiful husband.
I love it. Now, how did he take to being with like this operatic superstar? I always wonder about the spouses that are not in the industry. Like, how do they handle it and manage it and live with it?
I think, I personally feel like he does a great job. Let's put it this way, when I met him in 2004, mm-hmm. I was in school, but I won this competition called the Aria Concerto competition. And the prize was singing with the orchestra. Mm-hmm. And he came to that concert.
Yes.
And he showed up and he had this nice tie on, and my mom remembers it. And she's like, oh, he was all dressed up and he looked all nice and everything. And he was so supportive in 2005, and I don't know. I mean, and now he's just, he's my, I shy away from saying he's my everything because God is my everything. But, I've been blessed to have him here because he helps me with everything during this time. I would not be able to sit here and talk to you like this if Adam hadn't come downstairs and put this together, So I'm very thankful for him because he's supportive. He wants, it's nice to have somebody who wants to see you do well.
Amen.
That's a blessing.
That is a huge blessing. Well, 3 cheers to Adam, brother.
Yay, Adam Milky.
Yay, Adam. Yay, yay, yay. So as I was reading your bio, something jumped out at me. Well, several things. One is this the Opera Training Audition Award.
Yes.
And that you fund application fees for young singers. And I want you to talk about that, why you did it, the importance for you doing it, and how you plan to continue it. Because for me, it is a huge problem in our industry that younger singers have just to be able to apply to audition to have opportunities. And then there are even some organizations where you pay to apply and they don't grant you an audition and they don't return your application fee. And the pressure, the financial burden of just being able to have a foot in the door to play the game is often crippling.
Yeah.
What brought you to this, to set this up?
It's Adam, to be completely honest, my husband.
Wow.
Because we were laying in the bed and I told him, I said, you know, when I was a young artist, I had so many people. Hi, Nicole. I had so many people support me. I can't even, if I tried to explain how supportive my parents were, I don't think I'd really be able to do it justice. You know, there was this thing that recently came around called the NIOP auditions.
Yes.
And I started this thing called the Opera Training Studio. Gosh, my mind is going all over the place. I'm going to try to stay on topic, Kenneth.
No, it's all right. Let it go where it goes. Let it go where it goes.
I started this thing called the Opera Training Studio because my initial idea was that I would be working with singers who needed encouragement, like I did. Yes. And as I got to know these singers, you know, as I got to know them, I realized that they were me 15 years ago. They were me 10 years ago. They were me 5 years ago. And some of them are my age, and we're sitting here talking, and I'm like, hey, you know, we're talking and strategizing and whatever. But I was talking to my husband, and I said, there are some singers who want to do this thing called the NIOP auditions. I might cry. I'm going to try not to. Get it together.
It's all right. Listen, I let them flow. Whenever they come up, I let them flow.
And the NIOP auditions I did in 2009, I believe it was 2008 or 9. I don't remember the exact year. But because I was in a young artist program at the time, LA Opera, they paid for our entrance fee, which at the time I think might have even been $300. I think.
Yeah, I remember that fee.
Yeah. And I was thinking, gosh, you know, I mean, my dad had just passed away and my mom, you know, my mom still had the church, but I was like, I'm not going to go ask my mom for $300 to go do an audition where I may or may not get something.
Right.
And
right.
So I'm telling all of this to my husband, and he said, well, why don't we start a scholarship for some of the singers? Because they're, you know, I'm coaching them. Coaching is a very, I want to say, sacred word. So I don't want to say that I give coachings. I have sessions where I work with the singers on music. Most of the time it's music that I know, you know, and during these sessions, people would say things. The singers would say to me, I really want to audition for the NIOPs, but you know, the fee is too much, and I can't audition because I don't have $250. I can go to New York. I can try to ask my family to help me. And, you know, this is not the time. This is COVID.
Yeah.
You know, 2020. This is not the time to be greedy or to be, I don't know, not understanding of other people. This is the time for us all to get better, you know. And so I'm telling this and sharing this to my husband, and he said, well, why don't we help them? Why don't we give them an award? So he said, I said, well, it's the Opera Training Studio. He said, we'll call it the Opera Training Studio Audition Award. And so there were singers like Elliott Brown, Melissa Joseph, singers who we helped. And I'm not saying this to you because I want people to be like, oh, look at how nice Angel and her husband have been, or look at how nice. I'm saying this because, this is the time where if you can give back, especially this year, if you can give back, if you can help people, if you can reach out, if you can have a helping hand, if you can be a shoulder for somebody to cry on, if you can take whatever it is and move people forward, you're not just doing that for that person. You're doing that for the greater good of humanity. You're making all of us rise up.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm listening to all these younger singers, I'm going to say it like that. And I'm listening to them sing and I'm like, gosh, they have all this talent and they have all this passion.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to have passion right now, Kenneth.
Tell me about it.
It's not easy to sit at a piano and learn music right now, and things are canceled. School is on. Who wants to sit in front of a computer every day unless you're a computer programmer?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking at these young people and I'm thinking to myself, there must be a way. There must be something that I can do to help them, to encourage them, to let them know that they're doing the right thing, and that I see in them the investment that they're making and the love that they have for the art form. And
Absolutely.
I wanted to help. That's where it comes from. That's the Opera Training Studio audition award. And I'm very honored to say, very, very thankful to say that some of them, I think, have gone on to the competition that NIOP is having. And I know that 2 of them received jobs in 22.
Wow.
That's great.
Amazing. That is so, and I want you to talk about this because I want everybody to know that there are angels here on earth doing God's work. And that's what you and your husband are doing.
Thank you.
I need you to understand that and know that. And I want to celebrate that. And I want you, if there is a way for the community at large to help you and your husband continue this, I need you to tell us how we can support you and this organization that you all have set up. Let us know how we can help.
Yeah, so we have a PayPal account that everything goes to, and that's where the award came from. That's how we administered the award to different singers. So there is a PayPal account that people can give to. I can send. At the end of this, I could probably put the information.
Okay.
And all of it goes to help singers. My dream. I mean, I don't like telling people my dreams all the time because I think everybody doesn't need to know what you're dreaming.
This is true.
But this is in keeping with what we're talking about. And my dream is to be able to help fund and encourage. It's nice to say, oh, you're a good singer. Oh, you have so much talent. Oh, that was a beautiful aria. Oh, congrats, brava. That's nice. But I mean, you actually can put funding behind someone who you believe those things to be true about.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different world. That's one of my dreams is to see. I love this art form, Kenneth. I love opera.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And I want to see more people interested in it. But in order to have that, people do need to be encouraged. And that is one of my dreams, is to be able to help fund young singers in their journey.
Yeah, it's amazing. I always tell people nobody does this alone.
Right.
Nobody can achieve what you have achieved alone. No. We can't do, especially in this career, you cannot do it alone. And I appreciate what you're doing so much because I have been the recipient of angels when I was coming up. You know, I've been the recipient of, somebody putting a check in the mail and saying, do what you need to do with this. I've been the recipient of somebody saying, don't worry about paying me for this lesson or for this coaching. Just make sure you pay it forward when you can.
Yes.
So I love when I see people give, and I love when I see people use their platform for the greater good.
Yes.
It is absolutely beautiful. And I congratulate you for that. And when we're going to get this PayPal information before the show is over, so I can show everybody, so you can put it in the private chat thing that I told you about. Just type it in there, and I can put it up there later. I
just want to say one thing about that, and that's that the NIOP auditions that we gave, that was directly from my husband and I. And we didn't have any donations or anything. That was me and him
Wow.
sitting down. And I said, look, I want to help these singers. I want to put, because every singer's wasn't ready to do the competition or the audition.
Right.
But the singers who I knew were, I wanted to support them. So, the donations would definitely help. We're in the process right now of trying to set it up to become, I believe my husband said he wanted it to be a 501c3.
Yes.
But it's not quite that yet. But,
Yeah.
That was something that he and I did directly from us to those singers. But anyway, I just wanted to share that.
No, that's absolutely positively amazing. And I'm sure once it's all set up, you can find that information on her website, which you see on the ticker tape below. Will you tell us about Sylvia's Kids? I love that name. I love it.
Sylvia's Kids is my mom. My mom is Sylvia, and I'm sure my mom is in the comments. My mom is always in the comments. I think she's in the comments. But Sylvia's Kids came about because my mother was raised in the inner city. I guess that's the proper way to say it, but my mom would always say I'm from the ghetto. I was raised in the ghetto. And my mom taught at a Title I school for many years. And there was I'm trying to make this as short as I can.
Listen, in my church, they say, take your time, Pastor, take your time.
Yes, they do. But my mom was working with this young girl who was in 2016, was trying to graduate from high school. But her GPA was a 1.7 GPA. And for those of you who don't know, that's probably what, D's, straight D's, with probably some F's in there somewhere, maybe. So she did not have a very good chance of graduating. She was missing credits and all of this. My mom said that she saw this young girl be very interested in graduating and asking her counselor and the people, the other teachers, how can I graduate? I want to graduate with my class. How do I do that? And, a lot of the advice she received was negative. And it was basically like, you're not going to be able to graduate because you didn't work hard like everybody else from the freshman year. My mom said, no, she can graduate. So my mom goes online. My mom finds all of these classes in the what do you call that? In the college, at the college where this girl can go and take these courses, and the courses would then apply for her apply to her credits and raise her GPA and help her then to be able to graduate. Well, in order for her to take the courses, it was something like it wasn't super expensive, but it was something like $275, and so. I said to my mom, I said, well, Mom, let's help her in some way. My mom said that she came in one day. She was very despondent. She was very down. And she said, there's no way I'm going to be able to graduate. I can't afford these classes. So my sister, my brother, myself, and my mom, we all got together and we put money together for her to be able to go to these colleges. Some were night classes and some I think she did online. And this young woman was impeccable, just amazing. She graduated with a 3.75.
Come on now.
I believe it was something high like that.
Wow.
And my mom said that she was going to, what is it called? What is it called? Not a dental hygienist is what she was going to school to be. So we gave her, so I said to my mom, I said, let's start a 501c3. Because my parents had a 501c3. And so I was talking to my mom about that in 2016 and she said, okay, let's do it. And I said, we'll give awards to a high school student who's graduating from an inner city school, going to a trade school, four-year university or community college. And, and that has been, the award has been a huge blessing to us. It's a blessing to be a blessing. And what I want to say about Sylvia's Kids is that, it's great to see young people who turn it around, great to see people who you have a zeal or I think that's the right word. You have an interest in something. And when you have that interest and you really put forward the effort to become better and to become, to become to understand more about what you do, and you have the heart to move forward. Those are the people that I really hope that Sylvia's Kids touches, that the Opera Training Studio Audition Award touches. You know, I'm working with Time In Kids now, and I want to see these kids succeed. I want to see them. I want to see them grow up to realize their dreams, just like I've been able to realize mine.
Absolutely.
And I want to see that from them. You know,
That it's amazing what you're doing. It's amazing what your family is doing, because the thing is, it's not a handout, it's a hand up.
yes,
And when we lift each other up, we all become stronger. You
yes.
know, it's beautiful what you're doing. And it's also, it sounds to me exhausting because that's a lot of work. And then you've got, I'm sure, a whole stack full of scores that you've got to get into your brain and into your heart and into your voice. Like, how do you manage it all? What is your day-to-day like?
You know what? My day to day is great. I'm blessed. I have to say, this 2020 has been wild because, Kenneth, I wanted a break. I needed a break. I needed it's invigorating.
Yes.
You know, to be able to do the things, to be able to work with people is it's uplifting, it's invigorating, it's exciting, it's fun. But I have to say that my day to day this year, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
It's been great. It's been so great. I get to be at home. I get to be with my husband. Last year, I was only home for 54 days.
My goodness, out of 365
Yeah,
days.
that's a lot of days in the year, and I was only home for 54 of them.
Wow.
I thank God for my husband. I thank God that he is understanding and not like, oh, you need to be here with me and you can't go do that job. You can't go. Can you imagine if I had a husband who said, I don't want you to go to La Scala. I haven't seen you. You need to stay here with me. Can you imagine? So you say, what is my day to day like? My day to day is filled with joy and thankful, and I'm excited. I haven't had to go anywhere. You know, I mean, I understand that, you know, we miss our jobs, we miss singing and all of that, but it's been such a blessing to be at home. I have a lot of projects and a lot of things that, you know, maybe sometimes I spread myself too thin. Maybe sometimes I'm doing a lot of stuff. You know, I have these green screen videos and things that I like to do just for fun. You know, my husband has helped me with those, and I don't know. There's Isaiah 26:3 says, keep in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon him. That's what my day to day is.
Oh,
that's what my day to day is. And I'm thankful for it.
Oh, girl, you have you have made my heart full on this evening here. I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored to see what you're doing and to call you a sister friend. Like I'm just honored to be in this time and seeing you do your thing, because listen, this year has been rough on everybody, but I believe as artists, we have a responsibility to society, because society needs the arts, it loves the arts, it craves the arts. When society goes through troubles and issues and heartaches and disasters and terrorist attacks and things like that, they call on the arts for healing. But we are often the last on the totem pole to be taken care of via that same society. But artists, as we were going into this pandemic, unprepared and blindsided by it, coming out of it, I think we're going to be so much stronger and so much more grateful for what we have and what we're doing. And you are leading the path. You are showing and shining by example.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you, Kenneth. Thank you.
Listen, I'm trying. I'm inspired by all of you. And to see the number of women that are doing it. Oh my God. It's just, it's incredible. It's incredible. I wanted to ask you about how you are dealing with this new Grammy nomination that you got for Porgy and Bess. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to you. You got
Oh,
a
listen.
nomination too.
Wh- I where how did you take it when you heard?
I freaked out. I freaked out real good. I was on the phone with my sister, and my husband was making us some lunch. And I mean, I just acted insane. I said, I think I yelled out, "We got a Grammy nomination!" And I ran from one end to the house to the other end. My dog started barking.
Yes, indeed. I was on a Zoom call like the rest of the world at the time, and I got off the Zoom call and I texted. I was texting with Damian Sneed
Okay.
and Justin Austin and Jerome were working on a project together. And I said, "Hey, you guys, let's talk about this project. I have some ideas." And then Damian wrote back. He said, "Yeah, that sounds great. And by the way, congratulations on your Grammy nomination." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, they just called your name on that project you did with Joanne Falletta." And I dropped the phone. I screamed and started crying. I was a hot mess, a mess, a mess, a mess. And I called my grandmother, and then I called my dear, dear sister, Karen Slack, and I was screaming into the phone. She was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, you big crybaby." But yeah, I was completely taken off guard and by it, but I just remember the little boy in the mirror holding a hairbrush for a microphone, practicing my Grammy speech for when it would happen, when I wanted to be Michael Jackson, you know, and just the tears and being grateful for it. And so congratulations to you and the entire cast and team of Porgy and Bess. I mean, what to have a production, to lead a production of an opera that hasn't been seen at that house in 30 years, and for the reception and then the additional performances and the reviews and the CD and all of it. What has that been like for you?
Oh, it's been amazing. I'm very thankful. I mean, it was a stellar cast, you
Yes.
know, just all around, just a stellar cast. And people were just, I don't know, just, I felt like that was probably one of I really want to say the only production I've ever been in where I have felt you could feel the gratitude off of people.
Mm.
You know, you could feel like the chorus, you know, people in the chorus like Chantal. I believe Chantal's watching. Hi, Chantal. You know,
I'm so proud of that young lady. My goodness.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
And she's also one of the winners of the Opera Training Studio Audition Award.
Fantastic.
And it's like she's on the stage and she like starts taking pictures of the what do you call it, of the Met, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here, and I never thought that I would do this, and I took the semester off to be here." And that excitement was throughout the whole cast. And I mean, just I don't know really what to say, to be honest with you. Hi, Chantal. Just that it just, I feel so honored and truly thankful that that the Metropolitan would trust me with that role.
Mm-hmm.
That they would trust me with, you know, the responsibility that goes with playing that role. And of course, as you mentioned earlier, you know, you talk about the ghosts of the sopranos. I mean, the great sopranos who've sung best.
Yeah.
There's definitely, I mean, I did my best not to compare myself to anybody, but I also know that there's some women who have really made that role, gosh, I mean, just iconic.
Yes.
You know, and so I felt honored. Really, I still feel honored. I don't know that I'm eloquent enough to really put it into words as to how that moment made me feel or makes me feel, because I still feel like I'm in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that state. Don't ever lose that. Don't ever lose that. And speaking of legends, this next clip that I'm going to play, I need you to talk us through it when it's over, because it includes a living legend and you in a legendary part. And when we extracted the clip for it, I ended up finishing and watching the whole thing. It was just fantastic and exquisite. And I believe, listen, audience, just get ready, because this is some of the most beautiful singing that you're ever going to hear. Oh my goodness. First of all, that was so fantastic. And was that your first time singing the role?
Yes.
Good grief. Oh my God. What is it going to be like in your 10th production? My Lord.
No.
My Lord. So tell us about this very unique concept with the great Catherine Malfitano, who I just adore.
Yeah, it was an interesting concept. Indeed, it was. The idea was that there are two Toscas. So the idea was that there is the prima donna, who is, Catherine, who's me, I suppose. And then there's the Tosca, who is Catherine Malfitano. And so the idea was that this young singer wants to, if anyone has ever seen the full production, it's where I come in the very beginning as a student. And the idea is that I'm the only one who's really a student as Tosca. And my hope is to become what Catherine Malfitano is. And the progression of the opera is just that my character has a crush on Cavaradossi, who is an established opera singer, and also Scarpia is also an established opera singer. But the difference is that Scarpia as an opera singer is a bad person, just like he is as Scarpia.
Yes.
These are things that we talked about in rehearsal that may or may not have been understood when one is watching the show.
Yeah.
But of course, through the progression of the piece, by Act 3, my Tosca becomes Tosca, and she really is. She doesn't need to be guided by I suppose she's the prima donna. By the prima donna, she has become the prima donna, if that makes sense.
Wow. What a way to do your first.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have a production like that one ever again. I'm sure.
Yeah. So what were some of the things that Catherine imparted on you?
Catherine was amazing. I have to say, I don't think I could have done that without her there. Looking back on it now, I think to myself, wow, I'm really happy that Catherine Malfitano was, number one, I'm happy that she was the prima donna, because they had many other people that they were thinking of doing this part. But because of how, number one, what a stage animal she is.
Oh my God.
She just really becomes the character.
Yeah.
And that was an incredible help to me when there was something that I didn't understand, or maybe a scene that I thought, okay, well, I understand the basis of the scene, but what maybe the director was asking me to do was a little bit difficult. And so she always helped me sort of like, I want to say, brainstorm as Tosca. And I have to, of course I learned the music, I studied and all of that, but without this cast, I don't know that I would have been able to really have a successful run like I did. I'm very thankful for them all, and if they asked me to do the production again, I would do it in a heartbeat. I know it's weird and people don't understand it, but I like it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I watched the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I got caught like in a look lock. Like I saw it and then I couldn't stop watching it. It was really, really good. Really very inventive and clever and smart, and to see Catherine on stage, like she's a beast. A beast. Yes. My goodness. Yes. My goodness. So now I have some quick fire fun questions for you.
Okay. Great.
And before we get to those, actually, next Monday, the last Monday of the year of 2020, is the last Black Opera live show for the year of 2020, is all about baritones. It's the first time I'm having a whole bunch of baritones that are working today on the show. I'm so excited to have them. Lester Lynch is going to be here, and Jarrell Williams and Justin Austin and Inman Ford, Will Liverman and Norman Garrett. They're all going to be here. Baritone Beast on the show next Monday at 7. So make sure you turn in for that before we bring the new year in. Okay, Angel. So some of these questions I got from the show Inside the Actors Studio, and then some of them I've just fashioned because I'm curious. So the first question is, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt, and would you never want to attempt?
Well, the one profession that I love, I've attempted it and I think I succeeded, but I'm still working on it. I love it though. And it's my favorite. It actually makes me happier than opera. Housewife. Shout out to all the housewives out there.
Shout out.
That's the profession I love. Okay, what I would never do, I would never be a mathematician.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never. Because I would give wrong answers left and right.
Oh, I love it. Okay, this is a question that I made up and I've been asking for the last couple of shows. Okay, you're hosting a dinner party and you can have 5 of your favorite sopranos, living or not. Who are you inviting as guests?
So do you know I used to do beauty pageants, right?
Yes.
Do you know that was my onstage question for the Miss California in 2006, and I didn't answer it right. So let me answer it right.
I did not know that. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
It was similar to that. It was like you're having a dinner party. You can invite someone from the past, present, or future. And I think maybe part of the reason why I didn't win is because I only answered the past. So You said I can invite 5 people,
You can invite 5 sopranos
5 sopranos from any time.
anytime, anytime, any color, anything.
I really Zinka Milanoff, was she a soprano? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yes. Come on,
Um,
Zinka.
oh man. Christine Gerke, because she lives around the corner from me.
Hey, Christine. She would be a fun guest, like for real.
Yes, yes.
That party is already lit.
Yes, it is. Let's see. Only 5. Because I want to say Latanya, because Latanya's here.
Oh, that's lit too.
Okay, come on, Angel, get it together. Leontine Price.
And one more.
Oh man. Oh, that's so Birgit Nielsen. Oh no, but Beverly Sills.
Okay, listen, Beverly can come. She can come. So we have Zinka, Beverly, Latanya, Christine, and who else? Who was the other one?
It has to be Birgit Nielsen and
Birgit Nielsen. Listen, that's allowed. That the decimals in that place.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would be fun.
Yes.
I would want to see that. That's fun. So. That is fun. Okay. Do you have a favorite city or country where you've been that you just love, whether you were working there or not?
I love London. I love London, but I have to say New York. The last few years of just getting acquainted with it. I'm just like, okay, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
The city is everything.
Yeah. Okay. Are you a breakfast, lunch, dinner, or dessert kind of girl?
I'm like a late night snack kind of girl. So like it's like we had dinner and we had we probably had dessert too, but then like at midnight I'm like, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna have a snack.
Snacks, listen. The snacks are going to be the death of me. Like I try not to eat past 8 o'clock.
Yes.
But during this pandemic, it's been hard because I need something to do while I'm watching Netflix. And so it's like, I need a snack. I need something.
I changed my shirt to naughty because I said that because I eat late. So I'm no longer nice anyway.
Right. What music do you listen to other than classical and opera?
I listen to a lot of I listen to everything. Techno, I like electronica. I love Soundgarden. That's my favorite band. So I listen to Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder, the Pearl Jam. I like grunge. So I listen to that. My husband listens to like really, 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 really twangy country. And I like twangy country because my dad used to listen to twangy country. I listen to everything though. I mean, I listen to gospel. I listen to rock. I listen to everything. I can't even really pinpoint one thing that I tend to go to. I do listen to opera, but if I don't have to, I won't.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Yes.
Now, this is the last question.
Okay.
And before the last question, I just want to again say thank you so much for spending like almost 2 hours with me during the holiday. Oh my gosh. And I want to wish you and your family happy holidays and wish you all the continued success in the world.
Thank you.
And just know that you have a huge supporter and fan in me. And I'm cheering you on always.
Thank you. And the same from me to you.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. And best of luck on January 31st for the Grammys. And you and the whole team, the whole cast and chorus, everybody was so fantastic in that production. We know that heaven exists.
Okay.
But what do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would like to hear God say, Hi, Angel. Well done, my good and faithful servant. And then I would like him to say, I have somebody that I want you to see.
Hmm.
My dad would come and give me a hug, and I'll go stand in the choir and sing alongside my dad for the rest of eternity. Praising God, thanking him for his goodness and his mercy, his grace, his faithful love endures forever. Now, you know that question wasn't just going to get one little thing,
Listen,
because
I
that's what
love it.
it's about.
I love it. And I love you. Thank you so, so much for being here.
Thank you for
And
having
enjoy your holiday.
you too.
And tell your husband thank you for letting me borrow you for a couple hours.
He's happy. He's watching. He's happy.
Oh, fantastic. And hello and happy holidays to your wonderful family. They clearly have you are doing a lot of things great. You are a beautiful example of what family means, and what it stands for. And so God bless you all. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us in this awesome conversation. And thanks again, Angel. And I will see everybody next week, December 28th at 7 p.m. for Black Opera Live with all my baritone buddies in the house. But until then, take care of yourself and each other. God bless. And thank you so much. Bye.